the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Blast off.
I was just gonna say that too.
You said blast off.
Blast off.
Just gonna put my phone in airplane mode here
Airplane mode.
so that I don't have it ring in the middle of the. Remind me that I've got to call Mike.
Okay.
At the end of the
Hey,
pod.
Mike, he's going to call you after the podcast.
Yeah. Also, I was just
what?
listening apparently to Francesca by Weezer.
Oh,
Because
great
I'm sitting here on
song.
my Spotify right now.
Ooh, Francesca.
I need you.
Great song. Great
no
song.
matter what you do.
You know what's been so funny about our podcast recently is we used to have it where the show would have the video running and then we'd hit record. But our latest thing now has been we hit record and the audio at the same time. And so I'll usually start the show at that moment. So now when the logo plays on the video, it doesn't even have time to dissolve into the show.
No?
It literally just goes from, it's like the logo and then we're live, we go. And I kind of like it because it's kind of like it just pops up on you. Like the theme song and then we're going, we're in, baby. And I
Yeah.
like it. It's got a lot of energy behind it now. No more of this like, well, now we're going to start the show. It's
This
like,
used to be a friendly show.
No,
but
now it's aggressive.
In your face.
Yes. I'm going to add a lot more distortion to
In
the
your
openings.
face environmentalism.
In your face environmentalism.
Yeah.
You know it.
You know we're into that.
You know we love it.
We want to force you to do it right.
Oh my God. You just
Bio-friendly, forcing you to be better.
you rue
Butthead.
the day that you listen to this show because we are in your dreams. We're in your nightmares.
It's true. Once you listen to it once, it's like it is a horror film.
It is. It
You
is.
listen to the show once, and then it stays in your heart forever.
It stays in your heart, in your brain.
In your brain, in your
your
mind, in your
loins.
thoughts, in your loin. Definitely your loins.
Definitely your loins.
100%. It's a loin show.
Yes, it is. You know, we're in a nice, chipper, fun, happy mood, even though it is yet another. The rains and the gloom are still here, but maybe that's why we're feeling a little.
When the Smithsonian looks back on this,
On this era?
they're going to be able to use our podcast to determine the weather patterns.
The weather, they are. They are.
because-
Absolutely. They're going to refer to this as the rainy era
The rainy
of
era.
the Biofriendly Podcast.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
They'll go, what was the weather like on March 29th?
7th?
8th?
Oh, God.
I don't know. What day is it? I don't know.
We have no idea.
Oh, my
folks. And my
gosh.
phone's on airplane mode. So
It's
29th.
hopeless. It's the 29th.
29th.
Almost done with March and it's almost April. Oh, you guys. How's everybody feeling today? How's
We
everybody
all know
feeling?
that tune.
You know the tune. You know the tune. It's a great tune. It's a great tune. We got coffee. You got water.
I got water in my orange, my lucky,
You do.
my lucky,
Your
orange,
lucky orange flask.
my thermo flask.
Thermo flask. Yep. And what do you got, Ronnie?
I got coffee.
For those of you who aren't aware,
I'm sorry.
Veronica got over a cold at the end of last week, beginning of this week. So
Yeah.
she actually wasn't here on Monday.
That's right.
On Monday we had
That's right.
we had to survive without Veronica, which was not easy.
It was not.
It was a difficult day for
So
Jacob
much
and I.
crying.
Yeah.
So much crying. So lost.
Uh-huh.
So lost. But you get close to the microphone so they can.
Oh, yes, I'm drinking coffee.
Okay,
out
so-
of my Yeti.
I just wanted them to hear that her voice is on the mend. It's on the mend. You sound a lot better now.
She didn't sleep well last night.
No.
So we had to give her a double espresso today. We made a fun, didn't we? A fun coffee.
A fun coffee.
yeah.
Double?
Yeah,
Or
it's a double. You got a double.
espresso?
We made her a double vanilla latte.
Yeah. So by the end of the show, she's gonna be like, "Stop and smell the flowers.
Exactly.
Stop and smell them. Smell them. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Stop it.
Do it. Do it." But everybody's feeling good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I'm living the dream.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I'm
You guys
living-
tell it's true when I go hi.
Yeah. You know, that would be like an interrogation trick. Like
yeah.
if a cop had you interrogated and you went hi,
Yeah.
you're like, he's telling the truth. Let him go.
Did you rob the bank? No, I didn't rob the bank. No.
So if you go, yeah, I did.
I robbed it.
I
They're gonna
robbed
be
it.
like, he's lying.
He's lying.
He's lying. We got the wrong guy.
Okay.
We got the wrong guy.
Got the wrong guy. He did not rob the bank.
Do you prefer avocados? No. That's true.
That's true. He does not. He does
doesn't
not prefer avocados. We can tell.
Although I will admit, another thing that Veronica has done to me
Of the many things.
without my permission. Veronica's always doing things without my permission.
Of course. Yes.
In the what? Oh, that sounded inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
That wasn't intended to be inappropriate.
She's teaching and introducing you things against your will.
I am so sorry.
Oh, wait. No.
Yes.
I am so sorry.
Am I
to
just
the,
burying myself deeper into this?
to the audience, to the world? Jeez. Wow, this guy.
I'm straightening my tie over here. Ooh.
Am I fired? I feel like I have to go back to those harassment classes or something.
So,
Oh,
avocados.
God. I'm so sorry.
Avocados.
Veronica has been a wonderful addition to the office and has shown us many new things
So many.
in a very wonderful, clean way.
Sorry.
I can't. Why can't? You know, once it starts.
Once it starts.
What I do?
Once you get down that, like you fall down that hill,
I know,
it doesn't
I know.
matter what you say.
I know.
Everything sounds like that.
I know.
And then you're like, well, God, well, now I can't
Now I
climb
can't
back
say
up the
anything.
hill.
We're going to try. Hey, everybody. Noel, you were saying about avocados?
Yes. Avocados.
Yes. You love them?
I love avocados. No, Veronica is a proponent of the Cobb salad.
Yes.
She loves
it.
Cobb salads.
Yes.
So we will often, for whatever reason, we seem to like each other on and off the podcast. So we often hang out at lunchtime. And we have a lot of laughs. And we'll go to eat food. So Veronica is a big Cobb salad aficionado.
Yes, she is she makes the magazine Cobb Salad Aficionado weekly.
Yes, she does. She's been on the cover 6 times.
6 times.
That's a record.
World record.
Yeah.
7.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot about the upcoming April edition.
Yeah,
the Easter edition for Cobb Salad magazine.
Veronica, it doesn't count until it releases.
Yeah,
right?
come
It's
on.
until April, it's 6, and then
still
7.
6, and then it's 7.
7 in April. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But she's an aficionado, either way. So she would order those, particularly at Lovebirds, which is our closest kind of spot.
Yeah.
And I'd always be like, Cobb salad. I don't know about Cobb salad because I don't like the blue cheese, and I don't prefer avocado.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's like, no, you don't. But take the blue cheese off. I don't like blue cheese either. Why would you have blue? What kind of monster
It's a weird cheese.
puts a blue cheese in their Cobb salad?
Right.
And they're like, okay. And she's like, you don't even have to have the blue cheese dressing. You can have any dressing you want. Just tell them what you want.
Yeah.
So I took out the blue cheese. I left in the avocado, and then I put in like an Italian dressing on that bad boy.
And
I'm kind of a Cobb salad addict. I'm not an aficionado,
right.
but I'm definitely an addict. And I gotta say, the avocado, when
helps.
blended with that combination of salad ingredients, is pretty banging.
It's pretty banging. I am a fan. I'm a fan. One of the perks of living
With Veronica?
Yeah, with Veronica. Living in Southern California is the easy access to avocados. They're just plentiful around here. You can get lots of avocados. And so we have tons in our house. And with my new diet and eating plan, I really rely upon avocados. I probably have them like twice a day.
It's also a big salad town.
Yeah,
It
big
is.
salad town. It is.
LA's like a place
Salad
where you
town.
everybody has to be on a diet in order to make it in the city.
I know, right?
So there's a lot of salads around. You can get a salad anywhere in
Salad
LA.
City.
Yeah.
Salad City, for sure. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Avocado Club.
Yeah, no.
I'll send you the newsletter.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, that's good. I would say that I probably don't always prefer it.
Sure.
All the time, but I'm finding instances.
Yeah.
Where it's worming its way into my heart, much like Veronica.
Yeah. I really like avocado toast. Have you ever done it? The avocado toast. It's great. I love it.
Is it really good?
It's one of my favorite things. I love it.
Feels like the avocado percentage is going to be real high on that. Though.
It's very high on that. You really got to love avocado. So it might not be for you.
I don't prefer avocado.
Yeah, it's true. Don't prefer them, and he's made that clear.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
let's get me there. Let's get me there.
Okay.
Let's just we'll work the Cobb salad. We'll find something else. We'll get me there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, today we're talking about avocados. No,
Wow, what a good segue.
What a good segue. No, actually, we aren't. We have a funny story for how we're getting to where we're going today on the subject. So Noel on Monday sends me an article, and I was like, "Oh, that's really, really cool." And as I'm reading the article title, by the way, was "Gravity Batteries in Abandoned Mines Could Power the Whole Planet," scientists say. That was the article.
Yeah, and I read the article.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, this is a pretty good, interesting thing. This is something we should talk about.
Yeah,
It's good,
Yeah.
fascinating." So I sent it to Jacob, like, "Hey, this might be something."
And I, as your co-host and friend, said, "Yeah, that is cool. Wow, that's amazing." And then I got to the office, I opened up the article, I started reading, and I was like, "Gravity battery. We did a show on gravity batteries, and it all came back, but it had been 2 years.
I don't remember anything that happened from yesterday backwards.
I know. I get it. And it was one of those things that reading the repetitious line of gravity battery, I remember making gravity battery. Say it 3 times fast.
Gravity grav.
That's it. Gravity battery. I remember making a picture for the cover. That's why it all came back. I was like, I did something about gravity, and it had a picture of a cow or something like that on the cover, and I was like, okay, that's what it is.
Do you know how often somebody will say to me, oh, it's like the time on the podcast when you said blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, what?
Yeah. And we should
They'll
just...
say, you said, and you were talking about this, and I'm like, what did I say?
Our
and then they'll tell me what I
indication...
say. And I'm like, I have no recollection whatsoever of saying any of those things.
And if they really
They sound like me, though, usually.
Yeah, they always sound like you, and they are you. They not only sound like you, they are you.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been doing the show so long, and if you've been with us this long, you know that we can't even remember the dadgum tags. That should be clue number 1, that we really don't know what's going on until it's like right in front of our face.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
There's a technique that when you do improv and when you do comedy that you learn, that you develop, that
Yes.
you like. It's a skill you learn. It's a part of your brain you access that is very much it's like your random access memory, right? In a computer.
Right.
And you can just pick at anything.
Yes.
You can grab any piece of data and then
And spit it back out.
Cuts into circuits and it finds what it needs to get, and you can just roll out with something. And it usually is a lot more funny because it's a lot more free.
Yeah.
And it usually is a lot like you can work with lots of different random pieces of data and make them make sense more easily when you're kind of in that frame of mind. Like that's the whole point of doing improv.
Right.
And some people who may have listened to the show before might know that that's where Jacob and I have history in comedy and in improv.
Yeah.
When we do the show, that's where
That's what we're using.
That part of the brain is switched on.
We're doing science, but we're improving.
Right.
Right.
So the upside to that is you can get top quality content.
Quality content.
Right at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
The downside to that is everything. It is not in the deep memory banks.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
does not sit there. It can't.
No.
There's no room for it. So.
No.
And the same thing happens in improv shows. So people say, that was funny we said blah, blah,
And
blah.
you're like, I don't remember
ha,
that.
ha.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't. It doesn't store.
As you're saying this right now, I'm realizing that growing up, people would always, who weren't in acting and improv, they would go, I just don't know how you memorize all those lines. You know, you're in a play, and they go, I don't know how you memorize all those lines. And I realize now it's because we're not accessing the same part of the brain, like you just said, that you do when you're studying. So like if you're studying for a test, you're supposed to hold on to that information forever, or at least until the test. But if you're doing a play or learning lines, you know that it's a short-term time that you got to hold on to this information. So it's like we could read text, hold on to it, and then when the play's over, you don't remember those lines for the rest of your life. You just remember them for the run of the show, and then it's over.
You have to erase the whiteboard because more data is coming.
More data is coming. And so I think that when we do this, you're just constantly like you speak and you erase the whiteboard immediately, and you just move. And so when the show's over, I'm like, I don't really know what we talked about, but it's recorded.
Yeah, it's about a 30-minute whiteboard.
It's a 30-minute whiteboard.
Yeah,
we are finding Dory up
Yeah.
here. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway,
Anyways, we already did the damn episode. I sent him a thing, and he's like, "We already did the damn."
Now there was one thing that this was, and we touched on it before, which is this idea of gravity batteries. But what this is opening up in the new story is they're looking at decommissioned mines,
right?
And so the original story was saying this is a really great tech, and we have a couple places where the gravity can go down as far down as the height of the Eiffel Tower,
right?
And then it was in Edinburgh, Scotland. And then they had another one that they were like, and then we have this other one that goes for 1.2 miles or something that goes underground. And that would be really beneficial. So this is a way of using the gravity, charging things by using gravity, because there's a lot of mines around the world, lots of holes dug into the ground that are no longer in use.
Yeah.
And so if you were to use that as a place to use that gravity tech, something that drops, and as it drops, it's charging. Because like we talked about, if something's moving, it's creating energy.
Since there was bronze, iron, and tin, right? Which people have been using for flipping ever.
For a long time.
They have been digging holes to get it.
Yes.
Right? And then you dig the hole to get it, and then once you can't find anymore, you leave the hole.
Yeah.
You don't fill the hole.
No.
You just leave the hole, and then you find somewhere else to dig.
Yeah, this planet is Swiss cheese, man.
Yeah,
There are holes everywhere.
There have been holes dug for the last 2,000 years.
Yeah.
For, all over the planet for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you could, there are plenty of abandoned mines. There are plenty of new abandoned mines.
Yeah.
There are so many out there.
Yeah.
And basically all you're looking for is a hole. And just to remind everybody, because if you're like me, you don't remember that we even did this show. Or you could be a new listener.
Yeah.
We have a few of those.
Yeah, yeah.
So the idea of the gravity battery is essentially just you get a really heavy object of some kind. You can fill up a massive bucket with sand or water or just lead or whatever. You make a massively heavy object.
Yeah.
And then you lift it basically up into the top of where this hole is going to be. All right? And you use electricity to do that. Okay. So when you have electricity, you use it to lift this weight up. When you don't have electricity, you release the weight and you let it fall down. And as it's falling, it pulls a turbine. And then the turbine spins and it creates electricity. And then that electricity is put back into the grid.
Yeah.
And that's how, people think of batteries as a Duracell battery. It's a little thing. But this is totally different. This is storing potential energy literally by just pulling something heavy with gravity.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. So if you have a windmill, right, and that windmill is producing a ton of energy when it's windy, but no energy at all when it isn't windy, well, that might not be convenient for when we need power, right?
Exactly.
Like if there's a massive windstorm and everybody's asleep, then you're not using that electricity, but you still want the electricity.
Right.
So what do you do with it? Well, Jacob and I do not want us to cover all of the deserts with battery farms. That's not what we think is an acceptable idea.
Right.
So we dig in deep on what other options are there to store energy. And this is, in our estimation, a really, really good one.
Really good idea.
A really clever idea, a really clever way to do it. So you take that excess wind energy or the excess solar energy that you're getting during the daytime that you can't use.
Yeah.
And instead of putting it in a lithium battery you have to mine and you have to put somewhere and you have to hold on to, you put it in a mine that already exists in a battery that's you just use that electricity, pull that heavy weight all the way back up.
Yep.
And then you just do that all over the planet. You keep pulling up these heavy weights through these mines all over the place. And then you need power and you've
got the gravity mines.
It's nighttime or the wind's not blowing or whatever. Drop the weight. You drop the weight, it pulls the turbine, gets electricity, you can draw the power.
Yep. That's it. It's pretty cool. So so it was still worthy of looking back on it, but what you did, you segued me perfectly.
Did I?
You segued me perfectly because I was like, well, we've touched on it. There's a small development, but it did get me interested in this idea because right away I saw this thing that said groundbreaking motionless wind turbine is 50% more efficient than regular turbines.
Well, let's hear about that.
Exactly. So what Noel just said was, well, when the wind isn't blowing, when the sun isn't shining, what are you supposed to do? And this gravity battery thing was a good solution for that. And so this news is literally only a couple weeks old. This is a company that has developed this new idea. And there's a reason why when you look around and you see where are the wind farms and the wind, those giant fans, they're on rolling hills. They're in fields and they're putting them in the sea. You don't see them on top of buildings. You don't see giant fans just sticking out on the top of buildings everywhere. And that's because, one, they're noisy. Two, they're dangerous because they're going to chop up things flying around in the air all the time.
Didn't we talk about something like this before?
Yeah, we did.
We talked about
the
buildings, right?
We talked about.
Yeah. Okay.
We talked about.
I do remember an episode.
Yes, we've talked about everything from decommissioned wind farm blades that they were they don't know what to do with them because they're massive. We've talked about various technologies on roofs, but this is the first time we've ever talked about this idea of a windless turbine. And so I dug into it a little bit deeper, and basically, this is something you're going to know a lot about because
is it windless or motionless?
Motionless. Sorry, not windless. Yeah, motionless. I am so confused. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I said windless, but I meant motionless. So airfoils is the technology that is the wings on a plane, right? And so they are curved in a very specific way in order to lift the plane and to do things very specifically, right? You know
The
this.
Wright brothers crashed a lot of vehicles
Yes.
and made a lot of mistakes trying to figure out exactly how you're going to curve it so
Yes.
you get
Yes.
more wind going underneath than on top.
Yes. And so there's a huge science and study that was made around the wings of an airplane and why it's curved that way. And then when you look at a giant wind farm blade, it's curved in a very specific way because it needs to be the most efficient way that air is lifting and pushing down on this thing to make it turn. And that's the same technology that helps lift it up into the sky. Is that it's the more pressure is going on the up, and then it's keeping it stable by doing it like this. So it's very, very cool. So the wind tails on the back of a race car, totally different, right? The stuff that's on the back of a race car is meant to be pushing down so that the thing could be as aerodynamic as possible, but the wind passes in such a way it stabilizes as it's passing over the car.
It's the opposite of an airplane.
It's the
The
opposite.
idea is instead of having it push you up, it is pushing you down. That's how those F1 cars can go. Look, it's pretty cool what they do with the F1 cars because they've actually got them so well tuned and so fast that they actually have to make rules to slow them down with the tires and with the way they build the engine. Like they've
they're
actually
so good at it.
had to make it because they could probably get those things going 400 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably.
They really
They can
don't.
go. They can go fast.
They go about 200,
Right.
Which is still insane. But that's how good they've gotten at aerodynamics. Yeah, I mean those cars are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was actually one of those episodes. I usually get really interested in anything that we do on the show because that's why I choose it as a topic. I think it's interesting. But I had never really looked at the science or technology behind wind. But on this one, I found myself like watching a YouTube video on like how wind would go over the blades and all that stuff. And so whoever created this company kind of applied this, and I thought it was really clever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read just basically real quick. It says, commercial property owners can fulfill the rising demand for on-site renewable energy thanks to a revolutionary bladeless wind energy solution that can be integrated with current solar energy systems and building electrical systems.
Cool.
So this can be something that's put on the roof of a building or a house. So the company is called Aeromine Technologies. I'm not supported or we're not sponsored or branded by them. It was just they happen to be one of the only ones doing this right now.
Although we should be, guys.
Yeah, right?
Give us your money.
Give us your money and let's do it.
Come on.
Come on. Aeromine Technologies patented motionless wind harvesting system. It generates up to 50% more energy at the same cost as rooftop solar PV. So this is how it works. Okay. The technology uses aerodynamics similar to race car airfoils to capture and amplify each building's airflow. The stationary, silent, and durable Aeromine unit generate electricity around the clock in any weather while taking up only 10% of roof space required. Aeromine systems are made up of 20 to 40 units installed on the edge of a building in the direction of the predominant wind. The combination of Aeromine's wind solution and rooftop solar, designed to work seamlessly with a building's existing electrical system, can generate up to 100% of a building's on-site energy needs while minimizing the need for energy storage. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is a game changer. Well, this is them talking about it. So this is them saying, so I can't say that this is actually a game changer. But
Okay.
you're
quoting someone.
I'm quoting somebody. Quote. So I'm going to do it in their voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going forward. I would like us to please
Okay, so I'm going to give this
be
guy...
respectful of the people we're quoting and say
Okay.
quote and then imitate their voice.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
most respectful way to handle this.
This guy's name is David Assernow.
Are you sure? Are you sure that this name? Ass or now?
Ask later, please.
Ass
now?
or now?
Ask.
It could be Asarno.
Okay, I'll go with Assernow, but I like Assernow.
Okay, ass or now it is.
Okay, so this is how...
So talk like an ass or now would talk.
Okay, ready?
This is why they don't sponsor the show.
Yeah, this is why Aeromine's never going to reach out. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. This is a game changer, adding new value to the fast-growing rooftop power generation market, helping corporations meet their resilience and sustainable goals with an untapped distributed renewable energy source, said Aeromine CEO David Assernow.
What is he? Let's say that a veteran of the
CEO. So a veteran of the climate technology industry.
Yeah, that's the crap we all say.
Yeah, right. That's a made up title. I've ever heard.
I'm
one.
also a veteran of the climate technology industry.
You are a veteran of the climate technology industry. Aeromine's proprietary technology. Oh, this is more of him talking. Sorry.
Do the voice.
Okay, which I won't retain it even more.
That's
like we
perfect.
talked about in last week's episode. Aeromine's proprietary technology brings the performance of wind energy to the on-site generation market, mitigating legacy constraints posed by spinning wind turbines and less efficient solar panels.
Oh my God, they got to work on their quote team.
Yeah.
Come
on, Astronel.
Here's the no. Look, you sound smart, which
I'm
is
sure you're a
good,
smart
and
guy.
I'm sure that it was nice to
And by
go
the way,
ahead
this is all in friendly jest. Don't sue us. Go on.
Yeah, don't sue us. No, I think that David,
you said a better one. You said David Asarno.
Asarno.
David Asarno.
I think that Mr. Asarno is probably a cool dude.
Yeah, it's
I think that they've got a really cool technology, and I think we're just playing. We're poking fun, having a little
poking
fun.
fun. We're
But
having a laugh.
I do think that if you. Yeah, I get the idea that we're going to try to fit in with the tech nerds in the way that you frame your quote. I'm blaming their PR department, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
blaming him.
Doesn't have a good PR department.
But I think that actually you probably want to speak in a little closer to layman's terms if you're the CEO.
I agree.
Because if your title was Chief Technology Officer, if your
Yeah.
title was Chief Scientist, if your title was Chief Ubangi, then I would say go for it. But I feel like CEO, you're supposed to make it for the masses. No?
Agreed. You got to make it for the masses. Yeah.
Interesting.
And so here's a little bit more of the things that it gets rid of, and then we can talk a little bit about like where this technology could be applied. But it says, okay, a motionless wind generator harnesses wind power by eliminating traditional wind turbine blades. We know that already. It says when the wind flows past the wings, a low pressure area is created between them. A specially shaped tower between the airfoils feeds the suction created by this low pressure past a small turbine located at the unit's base, generating electricity as it spins. So basically it creates almost like a vent, and the wind goes through it and it pushes it down. And so that's why you don't need this giant blade that's all noisy. It's just passing through. It's like if you were to see it was blowing wind and you were to pass between something that was really close together. If you were on the other side of that, you would feel like the gust of wind coming through that tight corridor a little bit more compressed, right? Because it has to feed through. So they've just figured out a way this
Compressed
technology
is the word.
Yeah, compressed, right? It's compressed.
Yeah.
So this is the technology. And so here's some of the advantages that they talked about. Noise pollution reduction. Traditional wind turbines are known for their noise pollution. It's a true fact. We don't hear them a lot in LA because they're way out in the middle of Joshua Tree.
Nobody does. They put them out in the middle of nowhere.
They put them in the middle of nowhere. So this motionless wind turbine eliminates this problem since
Probably kills less eagles too.
Yeah, probably get way less eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles are like, I'm not going into that cheese grater on top of that roof.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wildlife protection. Traditional wind turbines can be dangerous to birds and other wildlife due to their spinning blades. The motionless wind help against that.
Again, man.
What?
You gotta, if you want to win this battle, you gotta use the right
Tell me.
words.
Tell me the words.
You don't say birds.
Yeah.
Because windows kill birds.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything kills birds.
That's true. We talked about that before on the show.
Everything kills birds.
Yeah.
You don't say birds.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
say condors.
You make it.
You
You
say
go
eagles.
You call out the species.
You say hawks.
Yeah.
You say falcons.
Yeah, endangered hawks.
You talk about the types of species that it's actually killing.
That's so true.
It's not killing a freaking hummingbird.
Right.
It's not killing a pigeon.
Right.
That's not the problem.
Nothing kills pigeons.
That's not the problem. They breed like mad. You can kill 1 billion of them and they'll have 1 billion more.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
ants.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
Nothing can stop the pigeon.
But eagles don't lay as many eggs. If you kill a big bird, a large bird, it is very difficult to make that up. That's the problem. So if you want to sell your, I'm sorry, I'm going on a soapbox, but if you want to sell the value of your technology as compared to something else, be specific.
Yeah.
It kills less eagles.
Kills less eagles. The eagle death is way down from these. Yeah, I agree with you. It's so true because birds is such a general thing. And we, not that we don't have any feeling for birds, but birds fly into your windshield. They fly into, you know what I mean? It's like that happens. They run into you'll be in your house and they just run into your window and then they die. And so it's like there's a lot of birds in the world, especially pigeons.
The reason nobody cares that they've killed 1,000 flies on the drive up to Sacramento is because they know that that's nowhere near all of the flies that are in existence.
Yes. And so if you just say birds in general, you're like, we got more.
I don't mean to pick on these guys. Because you know why I'm picking on them? Because I actually like the product. I like the idea.
I think it's a cool idea.
I like the idea.
I think it's a very cool idea.
And I think if you want people to embrace the idea, then you gotta sell it properly.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that internet? It's kind of a joke thing, but it's becoming like the flat Earth, where you go, I don't know where the joke ends and the belief begins. But there was this thing called birds aren't real, which is this whole idea that pigeons aren't real at all, that they're not real animals, that they're just robots.
In my deepest, darkest, I'm drunk and hanging out with Clayton moments in my life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're just having a laugh and you just fall down what is a preposterous
rabbit hole
that isn't true, but it's kind of
it's funny.
But for a minute you might fool yourself.
Yeah.
I've had that with like insects.
Yeah, with insects.
Yes.
Where you're like,
what if mosquitoes are like controlled by the government,
right?
And they're capturing your DNA so that they can clone you and like control your mind? What if spiders are like there to spy on you, and that's how they always get in your house?
That's how they're there. They know. They're watching you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what happens.
Like they're robots.
This is what happens with the internet is somebody spreads that as like somebody hangs out with their buddy.
Yeah.
They come up with that and they write mosquitoes are gathering your DNA for the government and spiders are spies. And then somebody creates a forum and then all of a sudden you go, wait, is this real? We're joking,
do we
right?
think this?
Everybody's just joking, and then too many, it becomes thousands, and then it becomes hundreds of thousands, and then it becomes a thing where somebody goes online and they go, "Did you read online that mosquitoes actually aren't real? They're just gathering your DNA for the government."
Gathering your DNA,
and you're like, "Where did you hear that? I made that up." And they're like, "No, it's all over the internet."
It's their scientists.
You're scientists.
There are scientists.
There are specialists. There are many of us. Yeah. There are flat earthers all around the globe.
Yes.
That's my favorite quote ever. That somebody
There are
said
flat earthers all around the globe. Yeah, there are. There's also murderers all around the globe.
Know, right?
There's everything all around the globe. That's hilarious.
Somebody wrote in response to it was a guy who was dispelling flat Earth belief, and the Flat Earth Society wrote in response, "There are millions of us all around the globe," and he was like, "I'd read back what you just wrote." He just basically called out the fact that it was around globe.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, it's a disc.
Yeah, it's a disc.
He should have said all around the disc.
All around the disc. Just laying sunbathing on the disc.
Yeah, I'm a flat earther. I believe.
Of course.
We're on a disc. It's a globe. The globe is the royal globe.
It's the royal globe. It's the royal globe.
It's the royal globe.
Speaking of go ahead. Go, you say your thought. I'm sorry. I'm on tangent city.
I just while we're on this topic,
yes.
Just in case people are going down the rabbit hole yourself, I find it unlikely that spiders are spying on us when they can just look at you through your phone.
Yeah.
They got it covered.
They got you covered on your Samsung TV, so don't worry about it. Yeah. They got you. They're watching
your iPhone's giving them all the data they need.
They don't need the bugs.
They don't need the spiders are real.
And pigeons are real. Pigeons are real. Birds are real.
Actually, even though I'm not entirely sure what their ecological value is, mosquitoes are also real.
Yeah,
I kind of think they're population control for humans. I think that's our natural predator.
Yeah, probably.
Because they spread disease so well.
Because boy, oh boy, do I get a lot of mosquitoes in my house in the summer, which I didn't used to, but now we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I agree with you. Birds are real, pigeons are real, but it's just a funny thing. Yeah. But I was going to say, is my one other tangent thing about Earth. I thought this was kind of fascinating, and then I promise we'll wrap it up. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, he said, did you know that if the Earth was shrunk down to the size of a pool ball, it would be that smooth to our touch?
Could I shrink down with it though? Because if I'm my size, I'm worried I'll suffocate.
Yeah, exactly. You'd suffocate. Yeah,
so I shrink with it.
You can shrink with it. Okay. But he's just saying, if you were a giant and somebody was to shrink the Earth down to the size of a pool ball, it would feel to your touch as smooth as a pool ball. because he's like, the mountains, the ocean, all the terrain, you wouldn't feel it at all at that scale. And everybody who heard that was like, what? And he's like, yeah, it would just feel the difference in height of the terrain of the Earth.
So small compared to the size of the Earth.
Yes. And so if you shrunk it down to that small, you would pick up the Earth and it would feel as smooth as a pool ball. And I was like, that's
the only
mind-blowing.
The only thing is you would feel the liquid. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Because you would still have gravity.
Yeah, yeah. Gravity would still be there,
Even
so
though
it would feel like
you'd
a
be
wet
giant,
ball.
It would be like a wet
ball.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? So you'd feel it. You'd be like, oh, there's some water on here. But your hands would just like slide across it like this. And you'd just be like, huh, cool.
That's wild.
I know. I just thought that was a cool thing. It just came, when we were talking about holes in the wells and we were talking about flat Earth and all that, I just thought it was a fascinating thing.
Well, and it's also, we talk about this a lot on the show, is people have no concept of just how big Earth is compared to us. Right?
Huge.
Like you look at a mountain, you go like, that's a big bloody mountain.
Yeah. It's a big
Mountain.
Earth. Mountain. You just Aussied.
Yeah.
You
big bloody
Aussied on
mountain.
us.
I did. It is. And you're like, oh my, that's just massive, right?
Yeah.
But then you think about it as compared to the surface of the Earth,
Right.
and it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's wild how big it is.
That's wild. That means that the Himalayas, Everest, you cannot feel them under your fingertips if you were to pick up the Earth. You could not. It was
if you were large enough that the
if you
Earth
were
was the
large
size of a pool ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of amazing. By the way, I just realized that I think you should read David Sarno
Yeah.
as an Aussie, and let's see if he sounds any better.
He probably is. These guys are all Is he an Aussie?
I don't know. I don't know if he
probably
is, but I think it'll change our feelings about what they're up to. If
Does
he's
he have
Australian.
another quote? Does he have a new quote?
Oh, look on the back. See if there's anything else that says like he says.
Creating a better way to harvest the power of wind. Yeah, he would sound better as an Aussie.
See, I'm immediately.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm already sold.
Aeromine's proprietary technology brings the performance and wind energy to the on-site generation market, mitigating legacy constraints posed by spinning wind turbines and less efficient solar panels. Yeah, no, he's all right.
See, it's all how you read it. I read Astronaut like kind of a Sarno. Yeah, I read him like a creep, kind of like a.
He's not a creep. He's a kick-ass Aussie.
Yeah, exactly. Like
He's bringing. Get ready to bleep. He's bringing big energy.
Yeah,
to
right.
The,
You got it. Write that down.
To the
BDE,
environmental field.
BDE.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so he is. And so I want to say that as a compliment to Mr. David Sarno. We were just teasing with your name. It was written in print, and I had never read it before. But the way that you spell it is Asarnow. Could very well have been.
I feel a little bad
Sarno.
for all the ripping that we did a little bit of ribbing of this company and this CEO, and I think that was a little unfair. Because it is a
silly.
Cool technology, and had we known that he was an Aussie from the start, we never would.
Right. Exactly.
No,
changes everything.
Wherever you're from, it's a cool thing. It seemed like a decent guy, right? Decent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't even say where they're from.
He
to
might
be
be
honest.
a jerk. Actually, we have actually no idea.
David, give us a call. Call now. And let us know.
He's gonna come on this show and be like, "What's up with you? Why? What did I do to you?"
And then we're gonna go, David. All you need to know is listen to every episode where we never take things seriously as we teach, and that's the fun thing. That's
right.
why we're the best show in the world.
In the world,
the best show in the world. So we started on gravity batteries and we ended on motionless.
Yeah, it needs wind.
I really, we need wind. Yeah. It's a windless wind technology. No. It's motionless. So you could put these bad boys on, maybe we could put them on the front of our cars.
Sure.
If there's already wind blowing inside the grill of my car, why can't we be capturing energy when I'm driving forward?
Okay, so...
I did it just to antagonize you. I know that it's not enough energy. It was totally just to be silly.
We're fine. I'm just losing my mind. We're fine. It's fine.
I know. But
hey, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
What the heck?
Well, you know what? Power. Let's
put one in my hat.
Yeah, put one everywhere. Just capture energy. Well, the people who listen to the show who are interested in STEM and science and renewables and all that, there's a lot of exciting ways to take what we have with solar, wind, gravity,
Hydro.
There's a lot of cool ways to capture energy because Earth is energy. Humans are energy. Everything is just constantly like making and creating energy. So there's got to be a million other applications out there that are not obtrusive, not in our day-to-day life that you could be capturing energy. And I'm excited to see who's developing what out there.
The thing about this is that it is very solvable, and you can see that the amount of interest and energy going into solving it is pretty massive.
High.
There is so much money right now being poured into exactly this. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is another chance to remind the people who are scared that you're all going to die in a firestorm of heat, that you're not going to die in a firestorm of heat. Mm-hmm. We're just not going to be burning that much stuff even 20 years from now, and 30 and 40 years from now. It's going to keep going down and down and down until eventually that's not the problem anymore.
Yeah.
There will be another problem, and trust me, I promise you, your grandchildren are going to drive you insane.
Yes, with
the thing that they've discovered that you did wrong.
Yeah, that you're no longer allowed to do.
Yeah.
You're going to grow older, and there's going to be a whole new generation of youngins that are yelling at you for something that you had no idea about.
Right.
And that's just the way of the world.
They're supposed to, and you know what? We are definitely doing something else wrong that we're not even thinking about, that we think is totally fine. Mm-hmm. It's how it works. The longer that we go, the more we learn, and the more we find out, and then we try to get better. Yeah. And this is another chance to try to preach some patience, which is tough to younger folks who are looking at the world and like what the hell, man. Mm-hmm. But you do have to be a little patient with the boomers who came before you.
Yeah.
Because
you have to be patient with all.
They just grew up in a different.
Yeah.
They grew up in a different world. And a different time. And when they were kids, they were fighting things that you would you wouldn't even want to look at how bad it was, right? Yeah. It's like it's just things get better over time, and it's always frustrating to young people who are fresh and have fresh eyes and are looking at things from a fresher perspective and see an opportunity to do better. Mm-hmm. That's the point of being young.
Yeah.
So be glad about that, but I just try not to scream at everybody because nobody wanted to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, somebody wanted to be. I'm sure there's a couple people.
There's a couple bad ones
who wanted to be bad,
but
most people don't want to be bad.
The sentiment is there. The sentiment is there, and I was about to say before you said something that was so thoughtful. I was about to say we become hard of hearing for a reason, But the joke behind our vision and our hearing kind of failing as we get older is it's a metaphor for. We just don't see the world and hear the world the same as a young person does. We've given all we had to our life and our time, and our focus has gotten a lot smaller. And really, when we're older, we're going to be like, hey, as long as my kids and grandkids are doing okay, I'm okay. And so the world just seems like you can take it all on when you're young. You feel like you could fight every battle. And I think the older you get, you go, I fought a lot of battles.
I fought a lot of battles.
And I don't have it in me anymore to take on every little squabble that comes my way. I just don't have it in me anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to be patient with the olders and the youngers.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean give up, and that doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean you're wrong.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you can't go out and use all that energy you have.
Use it, baby.
All the power and excitement you have for change. You absolutely should. Go get it, but just take that moment to understand the perspective of the people who came before you.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Patience. Patience is a virtue. ASMR. That's the show, you guys. So thank you again for watching the Biofriendly Podcast. We love you. We can't do the show without you. Things are growing. Things are changing. This show is getting out there and being heard by more and more people every day, and we can't do it without you. So make sure you're sharing. We're blowing up, baby. So share these clips. There's always something on Biofriendly Planet that we share, which is usually a minute and a half digestible clip that shows some of the humor, some of the education aspects. So make sure you're sharing those and liking them, commenting, letting people know. It really helps us grow so that people can be like, hey, what are these two clowns talking about? Yeah. They sound like they know what what they're talking about. And we do for half an hour at a time.
Yeah,
and then we forget everything.
Whiteboard's erased.
Yeah, whiteboard's erased. But we can't do it without you, so make sure you're telling everybody about the show. We need your support and help, and check us out everywhere and follow us on all the socials. You can find us everywhere, Biofriendly
If you're
Planet.
running into somebody, if you've got somebody in your life who just does not get it, doesn't want to get it, has no interest in it, and is ripping you to pieces for everything you're saying about the environment, this is where you're supposed to send them.
Yeah, this is the place.
This is where you're supposed to send them, because we won't be mean to them.
Yeah.
And we'll work them along and try to explain it
Yes.
in a kinder, softer way so they understand. So send them here.
Send them to us. We'll handle it. We'll take it from here, you guys. So, with that being said, we are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Creating top quality content since 1923.
You did it. Science without the stiffness.
Green without the groaning.
Inspiring fear and love. I got almost all of them. They are all in my brain for once. I think there's one more, but it was the new one.
It's something about butts.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
This is a show about.
This is a show about tranquility, about patience. Oh my God, I just said it a second ago.
You said it, yeah. That's it.
This is a show about patience.
It's a show about patience, but that's it. That's it. That is the fastest and easiest we got through
we
the tag.
got some.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are only in the spring, and we got through almost all of them right there. So see, they start to seep in. They start to seep in. It just takes a minute. It takes a minute. And a double shot espresso, Veronica says before we leave.
Stop and smell the flowers.
Yay!
She did have the double espresso
She
feel.
did.
She's
She
awake.
did.
She's awake. She's back.
She's
baby.
back, baby.
Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.